Good evening, fans, and welcome to another edition of Sports Talk with Rags here in Season 4, Episode 54. And tonight, here we have the honor of having Western Branch alum and current UVA baseball player on the podcast, and somebody that Elizabeth and I have known for a long time, Harrison Didawick,
Yeah,
with us. Harrison, how you doing this evening?
good. How are you? Thanks for having
Hey,
me.
hey, I'm doing great. Hey, appreciate your time. Hey, let's start at the beginning. I mean, I know with growing up, it was definitely baseball in the fall, baseball in the spring, and then I definitely remember when you threw on the high tops and played some basketball there in the winter as you were growing up.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, my dad worked at Western Branch. I think you had him on the podcast earlier.
Right.
Um, so he was the athletic director, and I was playing baseball since I was 8 years old, going to the practices, watching the games. Of course, Western Branch has had a crazy, really good history of baseball, so it was great to be around. And then also, my dad played basketball, so he wanted me to, be a part of the basketball scene as well. So I played, had a lot of fun doing that too. Kind of wish I went a little longer, but it was a lot of
Right.
fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I definitely remember, watching you play there at Jolliffe. But then as you got into high school, then it's pretty much, when you start playing a spring sport that the off season is in the fall, those winter sports, kind of overlaps.
Yeah, I kind of regret that decision a little bit. I wish I played basketball a little longer, but it worked out. So I got to play baseball full time and just lift and get stronger and be with Coach Wright even longer. So it was good.
Yes, and growing up, I mean, definitely remember first watching you play there, Pinto Mets. They're behind Chittum, and then playing rec, playing some travel. But then as you got one of the opportunities of at 12 years old, and travel teams going to Cooperstown and staying in a barracks and going to a place that you're pretty much there to sleep, eat, baseball.
Yeah, that's still like one of my favorite weeks of my life. Cooperstown Dreams Park is just one of the best places on earth. It's a week long of just playing baseball, spending the night with your friends, coaches, just having a lot of fun. We played countless wiffle ball games, going to collect pins. So it was more than just baseball too, but it was definitely centered around baseball. And it was a lot of fun. I had to go twice. It was that much fun. And
Oh, cool.
so yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and then also, I mean, what middle school is that when you started focusing more on like the showcase and the same travel team, both summer and fall seasons?
Yeah, I think it was seventh or eighth grade. I started playing with the drillers
Okay.
like all the time, and that's also when I stopped playing basketball. I played in eighth grade too because
Okay.
I woke up one morning, I was like, you know what, I want to play eighth grade too, but I actually didn't play in seventh grade because I wanted to focus on baseball. So that was when I started playing with the drillers, Kurt and Matt Sinnen and Sammy Sinnen, and that was a lot of fun. They taught me a lot about baseball. They're 757 natives, and they're have done a lot of good things in 757. I think they're coaching another 757 drillers team right now, actually, which is really cool. Kurt was talking to me about it the other day, but
Okay. Cool.
that's when I started playing with one team, focusing on travel baseball, and it was definitely a great decision.
Yeah, and then also with where you grew up, and you start talking about where your dad worked, and being around Coach Wright and the ball players. I know that Kyle and Connor Butler and Jordan Mason and Zach and Justin, definitely remember you coming to practice and everything as you were growing up.
Yeah, I mean, I my first hitting instructors ever were Juddy Hayes and Zach Rutherford and Kyle McPherson and all of them, and that was a great team, of course. And then I remember even Gary Marchand and people after that too. So I've been a part of it since I was literally born because my dad, one of his favorite sports was baseball, so we went to those games, basketball games. So I would be in the golf cart watching the games, just hanging out, and and of course Coach Wright too, just being around him all those years. So yes, it was. I've been around Western Branch baseball my whole life, and I wouldn't change it.
Yeah, and I know with watching you grow up, and I definitely remember you being on the mound. Moving over to first base. I mean, so when was probably the time where you kind of focused on maybe outfield and first base, and not really on the mound anymore?
I'd say probably like freshman, sophomore year, I grew like a ton. Kind of lost a feel for the strike zone a little bit. So that's when I stopped really working as much on that side and rather just on hitting, getting stronger and faster, playing outfield, first base. And so I have not touched a mound since about sophomore year. I like to stay in the outfield, occasionally first base, but also like my favorite thing to do in all of baseball is to hit a baseball. So I don't
Right.
think there's anything better in sports. It's the hardest thing to do in sports. It's also the most like satisfying when you do it well. So, and I think that's my favorite thing for sure.
Yeah, I know. I know there when you were coming into high school, and being part of Western Branch varsity program. I know that there was a season of the pandemic, but definitely remember going out to watch you guys play at Nansen River, and of course, with the program that Stufel ran, the program that Roland runs. I mean, that's definitely a big rivalry. But you talk about the favorite thing for you to do is to hit a baseball. I know that you pulled on one, and it got out of right field in a hurry.
Are you talking about
The
like
Nansen River
Nansen
game,
River? Oh yeah. No,
line drive.
that was a great that was a great rivalry. I mean, I still mess with like Clay Grady when we play Virginia Tech, and I saw Aiden Judge the other day. Just tons of Nansen River guys. We're all friends. We played against each other, and those games went back and forth. Cam Pittman, another example, and I mean, we would walk them off, they'd walk us off. We'd, like so it would always go back and forth, and that's one of the games on the schedule that we would always circle in, and because it was just a lot of fun. Plus, we had a lot of mutual friends in the schools too that would come out and watch. So you wanted to put on a show for them.
Right. And the other thing is with Roland, I mean, yes, you did play a district schedule, but when it was time to schedule non-conference games, Roland would definitely schedule teams that would test the team and make you guys better for the end of the season, and then the opportunity to go to spring break, and go out of town and play the Florida teams.
Yeah, that spring break trip, that was eye-opening my freshman year. I realized I was not that good of a baseball player because those guys down there are a little different. I still remember, I don't know, it was freshman year we played Stoneman Douglas, and we got blown out. And it was a scrimmage though. And
Right.
Kobe Mayo was the shortstop who's top prospect for Orioles behind
Right.
Jackson Holiday. He just got called up, and he was playing shortstop at like 6'6", and I'm just looking at him, little scrawny freshman, like, oh my gosh, that is what I have to compete with, basically. And then flash forward to senior year when I'm all grown and stuff, and we play against Stoneman Douglas again. They have Roman Anthony, who is one of the top Red Sox prospects, and he's just crushing the ball center field. And we're just like, wow, you can always just get better. And it's actually funny. One of the guys on that team, Chris Arroyo, who was a stud high schooler, he went to Florida. Now he's at UVA. So I was talking to him today about it, actually. So
Oh, cool.
funny. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And the thing is, with our area, you bring up the sit-ins, and I know that they grew up in Virginia Beach, but the thing about our area, whether it's Suffolk, Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, I mean, around the game of baseball, it's where you get to meet people, and here you are in college, and staying in contact with the ones that you played against in high school. Just a definitely great area here of baseball players here in the 757.
Yeah, it's a tight knit family. I mean, over winter break, I hit at Dyer's new facility, and a lot of like the professional slash like semi professional college players. We all were going there, and like in the morning, it'd be like 15 to 20 of us just meeting new people from different schools in the 757, and a lot of I mean, some of the guys were in school when my sister was at Grassfield, like Garrett.
Oh, that's right.
It was
Yeah.
cool to like talk to him because he was like a legend whenever I was in middle school, and my sister like would talk about him, how good he was and stuff like that.
Right.
So just meeting all these like little 757 local legends like Kadir, I mean, that's a perfect example. It was pretty. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah. And when let's see, I guess sophomore junior year, that's about the time where it's time to you know go to camps and you know be on the recruitment trail. So what was that like here with being part of UVA baseball?
Yeah, so I was considering myself more of a game player than a practice player, or not a practice player, more of a game player than a combine player and
Oh,
camp player. So when I would go to these, I went to like 2 or 3 camps, and I hated them. I'm not gonna lie, but so they went okay. Like it didn't really do like up to my expectations, and then it was in the fall of sophomore year. Um, it was actually during our like fall World Series that we do at Western Branch,
yeah.
and I went to a camp, did okay, and then UVA invited me back to another one,
Oh,
and it was one of those camps when you play a lot of games against other players, and
right.
I think I went probably 0 for 20. I didn't touch a baseball, but I got on base a lot, like other than the 0 for 20. I got a lot of walks, made some really cool plays in the outfield, and I guess hustled, and they saw something in me and they offered me, and I committed on the spot. They said, "Take your time." I was like, "Oh, I'm good. Let's do it right now." So it was kind of an easy decision. I mean, it's UVA.
Yeah.
Even past the baseball, you got the beautiful school, beautiful atmosphere. Plus, it's a good amount of distance away from my
Right.
parents, but also close enough that I can see them all the time. So
Right. Yeah, and the thing is, I know that I've lived here since '87, and Mike went to one or two UVA camps there in '89 and '90 in the summers. But just the baseball facility, of what UVA was there, to then once Coach O'Connor, came on. I mean, you talk about night and day, and just what a program Coach O'Connor has done there at Charlottesville.
yeah, I mean it's beautiful. Every time I walk into the locker room or to the field every day, I'm like, oh, this is perfect. The cool thing about UVA is that every year I've been here, they've upgraded something. They're always getting better. They're not staying stationary and not like doing anything. So I think that's really cool, and it also doesn't hurt to be winning and to have fans coming to you because you're winning, and you got a great culture led by Coach O'Connor, who's one of the best. So
Yeah, yeah. And so freshman year, you move in about 2 years ago, about this time, and once you get on campus and playing college baseball, I mean, you start in the fall, and then it's winter workouts, and then right after Christmas break, and go back to school there in January. It's pretty much practice, and then get ready there for February. There back in your freshman year, being part of UVA baseball, right?
yeah, it was. So the fall was a lot of fun. It got a lot better. And it was also really cool to just learn from like guys like Kyle Teal and Jay Geloff and Ethan O'Donnell. Like they're pros. They're also really good, people and men. So it was a lot of fun learning from them and watching them go about their business every day, because as hard as Western Branch practice used to be,
Yeah.
UVA was another level. So
Right.
it was definitely a whirlwind at first, but I think the coaches, the players, the leaders, they did a great job of kind of making that easier and helping you along the way. And then you really become a team whenever we do Iron Cav in the winter, which is a kind of a team workout conditioning. Like obstacle course thing, and it was grueling. But I remember walking into the locker room the day that we were done, and it was just, you felt like a family more than rather than just a team. So
Right.
that was when it kind of flipped the page, and I got a lot more comfortable with the team, got out of my shell a little bit. Then we went home for winter break for like about a month, worked out, hit all that stuff, and then we came back and got ready for the season. We had a great season. We got to Omaha.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll get some wins in Omaha, but we've got in Omaha 2 years in a row, so it's been great.
Yeah, and looking back, I mean, even when before Omaha, I mean, the only time that you guys haven't played at home in your time at UVA in the postseason is the conference tournament. I mean, you guys have hosted a regional each year, and then with Kansas State, knocking out their regional team, you guys were able to host Kansas State for the Super Regionals this year. So that definitely has to add some momentum here when you got the home folks on your side there for regional round and Super Regionals.
Yeah, it's electric here in Charlottesville. Freshman year when we played ECU and Duke at home,
Right.
I mean, it was so loud you couldn't even hear yourself. It was amazing. It gave you chills almost. And then even this year against Mississippi State, Kansas State, like it was a lot of fun and definitely memories that you're gonna remember for the rest of your life. Just having all those fans, all those people behind you rooting for you, and then you got all of your boys and your coaches with you, just loving you. So it's been great that we've been able to host, and we're gonna do it again.
Right. Yes. And when you talk about UVA, you talk about 757. We definitely, can't forget Zim and Chris Taylor, and then your teammate, another Cox guy, Ethan Anderson.
Yeah. So I mean, Zimmerman played for, and Chris Taylor played for the Drillers. So I know all about them. I've heard the legends from Matt Sinnen and Kurt about Zimmerman. Never got to see him play like whenever he was our age, but I'm a Nationals fan, so
Right.
I've seen a lot of his games. 2019 World Series, he had some great moments, like hitting the home run with Garrett Cole. So huge Zimmerman fan, and then also, as you said, Ethan Anderson. He's one of my best friends, and he had a great UVA career, and he's doing great for the Orioles right now in Single A, which has been a lot of fun to watch. Him and Griff are on the same team, so it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, you bring up the Nationals and definitely 2019. I mean, definitely remember, taking one of your Bryce Harper collectibles there to a Nats fan fest. So those were definitely some great years to be a Nats fan as you were growing up, and then the exclamation point there being 2019.
Yeah, I missed that 2019 year. I missed a good amount of days of school to see that World Series run. Like, how could you miss it? Like, it was amazing from the Juan Soto hit off of Josh Hader in the wild card game to them, sweeping the Astros at home at away, I guess.
Right.
The Astros Stadium. I think they lost 3 games at home, but they also swept them away. So I thought that was really cool too. And I've been a Nationals fan my whole life ever since I started watching baseball. So, and I think that 2018 year, my dad, and I think my sister and mom went too, but we went to the All-Star game, home run derby, all that stuff. So I've been to a lot of cool moments there, and it's definitely been a big part of my childhood.
Yeah, and then with how you've progressed here personally here with the game of baseball. I mean, after high school, before going to UVA, didn't you start out there playing in the summer league?
Oh yeah, so I played in Vermont, the FCBL, and that was the best place I could have been. I've been blessed by my coaches to be just in good situations, good places, and definitely Vermont Lake Monsters, beautiful place, great people, and great field, and just a lot of opportunity to do good things and to just have a good summer experience. Plus, it was away from home. I needed to get away and just kind of mature for myself because I was a little shy and not outgoing at the time. So it definitely helped me a lot.
Right. Yeah, and then this year, I mean, this past season was a great year there for you. 23 home runs. Getting the opportunity of playing a non-conference weekend down in Jacksonville, and then also getting to play one of the Boston College games right there in Fenway. So just being part of the ACC conference, and then being part of UVA baseball. I mean, non-conference or conference, you guys are definitely got a grueling schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say enough. UVA has been the best decision of my life. Just the people, and then also the things we get to do and things we have the opportunity to do, like play at Fenway. I mean, I never would have thought that. I mean, that was even a chance unless I was in the MLB. Like to get to do it this, early was great. Jacksonville Classic, anywhere and everywhere we've been there and done that, and it's been great. And next year we're going to Puerto Rico for an
Oh,
out-of-conference tournament and Texas for an out-of-conference tournament. So we continue to schedule, grueling schedules because in the end of the day, it helps you when it really matters most in regionals, super regionals, in Omaha. So
right. Yes, and then also we definitely have to bring it up, and with your dad being a West Virginia alum, I just know with how he feels about Virginia Tech, but how about there in that last game against Virginia Tech and hitting a walk off?
that was an undescribable or an indescribable moment for sure. I don't I'm not that huge against Tech. I mean, I know
Right,
UVA and Tech, but it's
I,
just I'm not that deeply rooted in the rivalry, but
right, right,
it was definitely the best moment of my life for sure. And just to be able to do it with my teammates and my coaches, it just made it that much sweeter. And one of the things that really no one really remembers too is the at bat before I
yeah.
I struck out, like, it wasn't pretty, and I was just praying for another opportunity to, get a chance to do that, and I got one, and it was amazing. So when I
Well,
rounded third there, I saw everyone look staring at me, just going crazy, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." So
yeah, that was cool. That's one. I mean, nothing against other sports, but that's one thing about baseball that whether it's in the field or whether it's at the plate, you gotta keep your head up, and you gotta look for the next at bat or the next inning in the field, because you don't know how the game's gonna progress.
mm.
And with your game, I mean, you just kept battling, and then up there in a key moment, and pow. I mean, so it's definitely a great lesson there to show people how to keep your head up and look for the next at bat or the next half inning out in the field.
Yeah, I think someone that I've learned that the most from at, UVA, who's a great leader, great friend, is Griff O'Farrell. He was an All-American shortstop for who doesn't know, but
Okay.
he was. I've never seen anyone like it. He could have been over four with 4 Ks, and he'd be in the field making diving plays. I mean, you would have no idea. He'd be completely the same after. And it's someone who, and it's very easy to let your your outcomes and all affect how you're looking, how you're feeling, all that stuff. But the way he went about it taught me how to be a better man and better player with it. And if you watch all the best, that's what they do. And it's
Right.
definitely something that I think that's one of the later phases that you learn, because it's very easy to be, immature and be, obsessed with your feelings rather than what you need to be doing, and, be present in the moment. So Griffith Farrell, I give all the credit to him for that.
Right. And then also, with being part of UVA and the success that you guys have had, your first 2 years, I mean, when you come on campus there in August, get ready for the fall, then the winter workouts. I mean, the goal is to get to Omaha. So, the past 2 years, I mean, your season doesn't end until like middle to the end of June.
Yeah, I mean, It's definitely a long season, but that's why like we come here. The coaches recruit and get commits who have the same common goal, and that's to go to Omaha and win Omaha. And so I think we're all completely bought in. We're 2 feet in, as Coach Wright used to always say. And so we enjoy the super long season while all of our like other people that we know are in summer ball playing wood bat league and stuff. We're still together as a family playing college baseball in front of thousands of people. So we love it, and it's been the best 2 years of doing that, best 2 years of my life, and I think we have a really good chance of doing that again this year with the team and the coaches that we have back.
Yeah, and and then also, I mean, I know that I'm a fan of the other college sports, but with baseball being my favorite sport, the ACC network and ESPN Plus, and then the different ESPN networks, especially when the postseason comes. I mean, just the coverage of college baseball is great to see.
Yeah, I mean the people like bat flipping and being the excitement is just there, and it's been a lot of fun to see it grow because I know in years past it was not what it is now. And when you go to Omaha, like you see 30,000 people there and millions of people watching, and it's just great to see the sport growing as the players get better and the teams get better. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Right. Well, Harrison, I mean, I know you know, knowing you a long time, I know that we've definitely talked baseball and definitely talked nationals there during 17, 18, and 19, and just great to see you mature and just have success there on and off the baseball field, and especially there in the Who baseball program.
Well, I really appreciate that. It's been great knowing you, and great, talking with you and just knowing you all these years and being close with my family. So
Yeah, well, thanks. Hey, so let's see. So I guess here with getting to start your junior year and already being back on campus, it's time for season 3 here with the fall season getting ready to start.
yeah, we actually had our first like kind of walkthrough today, and it was great. We start our first like real practice tomorrow. And I think our team's gonna be really good. We have a lot of returners. We have a lot of transfers coming in that are really good, and a lot of freshmen. So first years, as UVA says it.
Right.
So I think we're gonna be great. Plus, you're not ever gonna be bad with the coaches and the culture that we have. So same
Right.
with Western Branch. I think I've been blessed to be in Western Branch and UVA. I think they're very similar, goal-minded,
Right.
programs. I think it's been perfect.
Yes. Now, with being at UVA, are you able to there in the fall enjoy a home football game, and then there in the winter, I've seen on TV where they show the baseball team during the timeout, throw T-shirts in the stands to promote y'all season. So, do you guys have time to support other sports in the off season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we definitely have a grueling schedule, but I think the coaches allow time. Like for example, if we have a football game on a Saturday, we'll practice in the morning, and we'll have some time to go. Now, depending on if we have enough energy to go, will be one thing, but we have the opportunity to go. And then for basketball, we always do the t-shirt toss and the like during halftime or during timeout or something. Last year, or no, freshman year, we got selfies with Steph Curry on the court because he was there at a game. Like
Yeah.
it's we get a lot of cool just opportunities just from being a UVA student athlete, and so yeah.
Yeah, well, Harrison, Elizabeth and I were rooting for you. So have a great junior year in the classroom, on the ball field, and thanks for your time. And talk to you later, buddy.
Yep, thank you for having me.
All
Sure.
right, so that's number 34 UVA outfielder Harrison Didawick with us this evening.